Can I fit all of this in the least expensive car I could find on Sands Kia's lot? The 2021 Kia Rio 4-door? Find out if it'll fit the fam. I'm Mr. Bram. These are my 3 kids. Join us as we journey to find the cheapest new car to fit the fam. Now there's a debate when you start shopping for cars, which is, do I go with a used car that's a little bit better, or do I buy new? Now I'm not ready to dive into that debate on today's video, but what if you could get a new car with a warranty for around the same price as a used car? Well, welcome to the Kia Rio. This is the least expensive car I could find on my local Kia dealership's lot. Now there's only one way to go with a less expensive new vehicle, and that's if you go with a competitor with a manual transmission. And honestly, I don't think you should get a manual transmission when you have small children in the car. That is, unless you're trying to go with an enthusiast car. And well, maybe this is an enthusiast car. It's a savings enthusiast car. Now, do you like saving time? I'm sure you do. That's why you're watching a Fit the Fam review, and it's probably saved you hours of research. So show some love back, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe by pressing the button on the side of the screen. Now, when we first put the infant carrier in, we put it behind the driver's seat. And this is the most popular car seat on Amazon. It's more narrow and shorter than everything else, and it just didn't fit back there. So we ended up having to move it into the center section, which honestly I prefer to put my infant carriers in the center anyways. The problem became, if you try and latch one of those outboard seat belts, the latch system from the infant seat covers up those buckles, and it kind of gives a weird rub on your seat belts. Now I wanted to show somebody who's a little more average height than myself, and so my wife actually sat in the front seat as well, and
I would like to sit a little farther back.
Now as for the forward facers, it's only 52 inches across for hip room, and so I could only fit 2 of my Diono slim fit car seats, which is fine. I wouldn't expect you to fit much more. My kids were able to get in just fine and sit comfortably. In fact, there's plenty of room back there. My only caveat is that the rest of the Kia lineup, the backs of the front seats have plastic, and the backs of these seats are fabric on the Rio, which just seems like it reduces the durability over time. Now, as for the booster, my 7-year-old was able to get in just fine. The headroom is a little low when you're entering, but once in, she was able to get up into her seat, no problem. There's an issue though, because the distance between the side and the seat belt is narrow. The Diono Monterey XT just didn't quite fit right. And so we ended up having to go over to the ebb and flow. We had to go to the more narrow seat in order for her to be able to buckle herself. An interesting issue I ran into with the Rio is the fact that there's no trunk release at the back of the car. You actually have to go all the way up to the front seat, down on the floor, and pull the lever in order for you to release the trunk latch, which honestly would be pretty darn inconvenient if your hands were full of everything and you had a child on your leg. Now once open, the trunk was exactly as expected for a subcompact, pretty small. It's 13.7 cubic feet, which is about the same as many SUVs behind the 3rd row. But the stroller did fit after I folded the handle down, and there's a nice feature where under the cargo lid, right next to the spare tire, you can toss in a spare set of clothes or an emergency blanket. And also, I was pretty darn surprised that there's even a spare tire in there. I mean, a lot of modern cars have gone away from having a physical spare tire. The Kia Rio is a safe, reliable, but basic transportation car. It has nice amenities like Bluetooth for hands-free and an automatic, and even the mandated backup camera, which works really well, but it doesn't have much else. It's got very cheap feeling cloth. It's got a buzzy little 120 horsepower engine. Check it out. It has a key, just a key. There's no keyless entry here. You have to actually turn the key to get this guy started. Now, it's not going to stand up very well against cross-shopping the Civic or the Corolla, but honestly, those are more of the Kia Forte's competitors anyways. So if you're looking at a used car or maybe a domestic like a Chevy, I think this is a great choice to get you on the road for under 20 grand.
I want to thank Sands Kia in Surprise for loaning me the vehicle for today's video. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out sandskia.com. They have a huge selection and an amazing staff to help you. Mention Fit the Fam for the best deal on your new Kia.